Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Awe. I use he, him, his pronouns, and today I hope to share with you all my favorite productivity tools or tools that I use for like productivity or to be productive or manage the various things I'm involved with. So basically, just to jump right into it, throughout high school and undergrad and now grad school, I always found myself like way too involved with things, whether it's like classes or clubs or like other commitments or even family stuff. And I found it essential to have like the right tools to help me stay on top of all these commitments. There's no silver bullet. There's no perfect tool for like making your life 100% perfect and like on top of everything. But I think it's important to find what works for you, and these tools work for me. I think that it's also important to remember that these are just tools meant to help you like achieve whatever goal you're hoping to achieve. If that's just to like stay more organized or to stay on top of commitments or to do well in classes or to like stay in touch with like loved ones or friends or like coworkers or classmates. I think these are tools meant to help you do that. And if you spend too much time trying to focus on the tools themselves, then and not enough time like making them work for you, then I think then you're wasting your time, or at least like that's not the best use of your time. And so I think it's always important to like keep that in mind and make sure like like am I spending too much time on the tool versus like is it actually helping me get to where I want to get. And I think this mindset is important. It's important to know that. But it doesn't also mean like give up too quickly if the tool isn't working for you. I think it's important you spend a few minutes or a little bit of time like giving yourself an adjustment period to get used to using the tool before you give up and say, nope, this doesn't work for me. I gotta try something else. So without further ado, let's just jump in, and I'll start off with why I think, or like sort of like the process for me. So usually whenever I start a new project or start a new quarter or semester, or usually let's go with project. I always think, okay, like what is involved with this project and what sort of tools do I anticipate needing to use? And I try to be intentional about this, because if you're not intentional about this, you could very easily like jump in without preparing and then get lost in what you're trying to do if you're trying to do anything. So usually it's like, okay, am I gonna need to make a presentation? Do I need to collaborate with other people? Do I need to like make figures or like any sort of like graphic? Do I need to type out like math equations or like any code? And like that usually directs me to the type of tool that I'm gonna need. And if it's something I've never done before, then I'll usually Google it, and I'll be like, okay, well, is there a whiteboard sort of app that I could use, instead of me drawing and then taking a picture and then sending it out to my teammates or whatnot. And usually there's something out there that can make doing work easier. So first is always like prepare ahead of time and sort of ask like the questions like, what do you need a tool for? For me, today I'm going to be focused, instead of like project specific and like those sort of tools, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about productivity and staying on top of like staying organized and staying on top of like the things that you need to get done. I have 3 tools that I want to share today, maybe 3.5. I'll try and combine the last 2. Those 3 tools are Notion, Workona, and Calendly. And so without further ado, we can just jump right in. With Notion, whenever I try to describe what Notion is to folks, I always find it kind of challenging, because Notion can do almost anything that you want it to. It's kind of like a glorified or like a super robust or comprehensive note-taking app. And when I say that, like that doesn't even do it justice, because it could do so much more than just taking notes. And I have here on my computer, and I'll just show y'all. So you can easily take notes using the app. Okay, we're gonna pause here. Okay, I'm back, and let's see. I think it might be easier if I just show y'all what it looks like to take notes using Notion. So here's what a page in Notion looks like. This is a page, and we can just call it like test page 1, number 1. So you could basically just start typing whatever you want. I can type whatever here and take notes. But when you take notes on Notion, it makes it a little easier to take notes, especially like if you're either like you're in class and you're kind of rushing or like trying to keep up with the professor or whoever's teaching, or even if you go back to like take your own notes later, it makes it a little easier to format. For example, if you want to like have a heading, you just type hashtag and then you can just type topic number one topic number one, and then you can just start typing here goes the content, or whatever, and then you just do it again like topic number two, and then it very easily like breaks up the work that you're trying to show. You can, if you want to type one bullet note, you just hit this like a dash, and then it makes it a list, first, second, third. If you want to make it a list, you start typing one, and then it also like automatically does that again. And yeah, so you could do this with these super easy shortcuts, and it makes things super easy. You could also like add on, like make it blue, or like you can like highlight stuff, which I really like. Like I'm always going and like, this is how I used to like sort of segment what my notes can look like. And you can also like move the content to like be next to each other. So if there's stuff that you are doing that like it might be easier to like understand, like look at it while they're next to each other, you can very easily do that. If you want to add in any pictures, you just type in picture and then or like image, and then you're able to like select an image that comes up, or like whatever image you want to use. You can very easily like copy and paste stuff. And yeah, you can also upload like PDFs. Let's move down here. Yeah, you can add in PDFs or basically anything. You can add any kind of database in here. So for me, I personally use it as like my own sort of to-do list. So you can make like you can make a to-do list. You can just do this and then like start saying like do laundry, or oops, if I could spell do laundry, like eat dinner. But this is sort of a little basic. Well, one thing you can do, or it's like a very simple way to make these checklists. You can make this into a sort of database. So you can make like you can type board, and it gives you a more inline. Let's move this to be down here that we can see the whole thing. Sort of boards, and you can like add like eat laundry, or like do dinner or something. Oh, there we go. Like here we go, do dinner, or I guess eat dinner, do laundry, not started, and you can easily like move them. You can click each item, it automatically opens it up in its page. You can like add different kinds of properties, whether it's like when you want to get it done, so the date, or like a checkbox for have you done it yet or not. And so it's super robust, and for me personally, like I'm always using it for like, for example, workouts. Here are like my workouts. I'm able to like make tables, and I can just open it up on my phone and like just enter in like, here's the workout that I'm doing. I could like put a link to a video if I need here, or like, and just like put like the weights that I'm like how much I'm lifting, so I can keep track of it. I use it as a to-do list. I have, as you can see, I have like pages for just about everything. I even use it to like plan these YouTube videos or anything. Like I have here like my summer page where like I'm able to keep track of work that I want to do. So here's like my to-do list for the week, and sort of like the things that I'm working on. So very similar to like what you're just seeing, like the planning thing about not started or in progress or done. Like you can easily change them. So I usually set it up to be like my week, and then I can add my notes. So like, for example, I'm supposed to be working on this, and I have like my assignments, and like this is a little less clean, it's like sort of like I'm using it for like how I want to use it, but I'm able to use it for school stuff, which is great. Like, oh, you don't want to look at all that. Let's see. Okay, I'll cut that part out. But academics, I also often use Notion for school stuff. I set up my classes. Each class gets a page, and it's sort of like my own little dashboard for each class. I'm able to like prep for it, know like how much readings I have to do, and like the content, and like add even screenshots and whatnot. So again, like, and like the presentations or like assignments that I use for the class. All in all, it's really awesome. You can do just about anything with it. And if you want me to make a more in-depth Notion tour guide, or like ways to use it, whether it's for classes or for keeping track with like work or like grocery stuff, like just let me know, and I'll happily like make a video explaining that, or I'll write an article sort of explaining that. My second tool is called Workona, and that is also another really cool tool. and it's super simple. It's a tab manager, basically. My friend Ria, she shared it with me back in 2019, and ever since then, I have never been able to stop using it. So basically what it does, it creates tabs group, or you create tab groups of like a set of tabs that you're working on, and you can open them whenever you need. I'm sure there are other apps that do something similar to this. Workona is the one I use, and I really like using it. And so you can, what makes it cool is that you can, let's say for example you're a student and you're taking a bunch of classes each quarter or each semester. You can make a tab group for each class, and then have like the relevant tabs open, or like the relevant tabs for that class under that tab group. And so whenever you show up to class, you open your laptop, you can just hit that class and it automatically opens the relevant tabs, whether it's like your readings or like the syllabus for the class. If you find yourself like opening the syllabus every other class, you know, like you can just it'll automatically open it because it's saved on there. And you can even like do it across devices. Like I've opened it on a different device before. And yeah, so you can use that for like that. For me, how I use it currently, like, well, it's the summer, so during school time, I definitely use it for like classes and things I'm working on. So if I'm ever like, you ever know like when you sit down to start an assignment, whether it's like writing a paper or a problem set, you're always like, okay, what else do I need to open? I need to open like the problem set assignment, like a calculator tool that you're using, or like if you're doing research, you know, like, oh, these are the library website and everything. You're like, it always takes a minute to like get into what you need. And as a result, I'm always afraid to like close tabs because I'm like, oh, well, what if I need it later? And so then I end up just like keeping a bunch of tabs open, and then it's like really hard to visualize, or like it gets a little annoying because you have so many tabs open instead of like just closing it all the time. So like Workona really helps like declutter your mind and like helps you open the tabs when you need them. And so like that's what makes it really, really awesome. Yeah, so here's how I use it. I think in recent updates, actually, it's really cool because it's not just tab groups, but you can also, yeah, like I'll just show y'all. So, yeah, so for example, here's what it looks like. So I have archived here previous classes that I've taken here at Stanford, and then I have like stuff from undergrad also. I think it's just last time it's synced. But you can basically like create a tab group for each class, and then here's what it looks like. So I have like this one called Summer 21, but this is the tab group. This is like the collection. So I have like YouTube stuff, career planning stuff, like my fellowship, Schultz, T stuff, and then like my own personal website stuff. So stuff just related to those different projects that I'm working on. And you have this tab page, you're able to like hit it, and then it brings you to like a tab page. I know if my thing looks weird because I put like my tabs made my tabs vertically, but that's beside the point. And so here you can see like all the tabs you have open related to that document or to that group of things, but then you can also add like notes. So if there's anything, like if like your professor says something really insightful that you think could be useful, instead of just putting it in like a random place or in a document you might not be able to find, you could just put it in the notes section, and you can open it up anytime, especially when it comes time to write your papers or to like for like your projects or whatnot. You can also add tasks. So like if you have a homework, like a class that you can have, like you can put your tasks in like a separate to-do list app if you want, or like in Notion if you wanted to. You could also put it directly in Workona. You can like set up like your task, and it'll even like remind you, and you can even add like links or like files to the document so that you can easily retrieve it and know what you need to do to like get it done. And so it's a really cool app. And I think there are other ones. I think there's one called Typist or Typer. I know that's a misnomer, but it's really cool, and I really enjoy using Workona. It keeps me like sane and organized, and there's nothing better than like finishing a class, and then you know the feeling when you close all the tabs. Like whenever you finish a project, you could still close all the tabs, but like when you finish a class, you could just sort of like archive it, and then it's like it's there, it's gone, and you never have to worry about it. I think some of these might still have something. I could restore it. I'm not gonna restore it anyway. So we got Notion, we got Workona, and then the last app that I want to share is called, well, it's just a calendar app. Calendar apps, they're super simple, but yet so effective, especially if like other people in your organization, like if you're working or like you're in an internship, if other people use their calendar a lot, like that's even better, because like you can easily see if people are free or not, and that makes things, it makes it really easy to like collaborate with other people and like know when to hit them up. Now it's a little tougher when you're in school, but like if you have like a group project, you can. The first thing I usually do is just share my calendar with everyone. Not like all the details, but you share with everyone so like they see when you're free or not free. Anyway, during school, yeah, I'd say primarily during school. I always add in like my most basic commitment, so always classes and like the times they are, and like the times they are, the Zoom link to the class, or like like the building that the class is in, and what time it is. And then I also add like clubs that I'm involved with. So I've like, oh, I've got Bible study, oh, I've got NSB, oh, I've got this thing I need to be here, I need to be present for these activities. So you put them in so you stay on top of it with like reminders for like, I need a 30-minute reminder, I need a 1-hour reminder, to make sure you stay on top of them. I usually take it a step further and I add in, especially like when I'm busy and I need to like sort of like, I need to do something to like gather my thoughts and like get back on track, you know, of like what's going on. So like I usually like add in more personal stuff, like even like eat dinner, you know, like I put the 1-hour block to eat dinner to make sure like I've made that time, I've blocked it out to be able to do that. I need to take a nap. If I plan on taking a nap today, like let me block that in, or else I'll forget, or you know, like I'll overlook that nap time when it comes. Even like when it comes to like working out, like I'll put run at this time or work out at this time. And even like winding down at night, it's very easy to like be working, and before you know it, it's super late and you're like, oh man, I really should get to bed, I have something early tomorrow. And I'm not afraid to put like 8-hour reminders to say like, okay, I have to work out until like in the morning. So like I need a reminder that wakes me up. Like I need the thing to tell me, hey, time to start winding down, turn the lights off, less blue light coming into your eyes, you know, start brushing your teeth and doing all the things to like get ready for bed. That way I can wake up and have a successful day tomorrow. Also, when you use a calendar app, it's easy. It's really great because like you can not only see what's coming up during the day, but also during the week. And that's helpful to plan because like if you know you have an assignment due Thursday and it's Monday, you know, you can like block in time to like work Monday, Tuesday, go to office hours, and then like finish it and submit it before it's due. And like that always just like helps me feel like I have control of the things that I'm involved with. Now, calendar apps are great, and I think we could take it a step further, especially if you're always trying to coordinate with other people. And I found this a little bit more in grad school, because like in undergrad, like usually like you have set times for stuff. But with grad school, like I'm more frequently communicating with people outside of my department, or like outside of Stanford. People email me like asking, oh, can we chat about this or whatnot? And I even send this to my friends sometimes. So to help with the scheduling process, or even like with professors, sometimes they're like, oh, like, could we have a one-on-one meeting? It's like, when are you free? I'm like, well, I'm free Monday afternoons, except from 3 to 4 p.m. Tuesday, you know, instead of going through that whole process, I usually just send them a Calendly. So Calendly is an app for scheduling time with people, or for scheduling to make it easier for people to schedule time with you. It's worked for me. I send it to friends, and I usually just send my Calendly to book time. So it's like, how it works basically is like you, actually I can just show you also. Okay, so if you go to Calendly, how it works is the free account like does more than enough. If you have multiple accounts, you can add like multiple links for different times for booking. So like 30-minute books or like 1-hour long bookings. So I have one called one-on-one chats, and here's what the booking page looks like. So I send this to someone, and then they just receive this, and it's like, oh, I want to book a time with Awe. Like it'll send you just say, oh, tomorrow. It shows you the times that I'm free, so it's automatically connected to my calendar. And I know some people might feel like, oh, they don't want to give people full access to them. I've had times where I've sent it out to people, and then they'll book it for like the next day, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not mentally prepared for this meeting. It's usually like not like it's never an intense meeting, but I was just like, I feel like I need time to process and get ready for whatever that I'm trying to do. And so this is what it looks like, and then you just sort of select the time, and then you can confirm it. And basically it immediately emails, as soon as you confirm it, it immediately emails the person who booked it with the Zoom info, or like the info that I've set over here. And then it comes on my calendar, it goes on their calendar, and boom, time's already set, and I can just move forward. Like I don't have to worry about, oh, does this work, does this not work? You can even set like buffers for like, oh, like don't book things within 5 minutes of my other meetings. And so this is always looking at your own calendar and then like working and finding the free times in your calendar to put that in. And I also always said it, like my working times are like 9 a.m. till, or 9:15 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. You know, like no meetings go like beyond those are like my working hours. And that's always changing. And some days if I'm off, I'll just put busy the whole day. And I think using an app like this helps me stay on top of, like make sure my calendar is up to date. And that's helpful for me and helpful for, you know, everyone. I feel like it, you know, I'm using systems that help me stay on top of, like they sort of like feed in to each other. And yeah, so those are the top 3 apps. There are a bunch more that I use pretty regularly. Oh, this is still recording. There are a bunch more that I use regularly, or like depending on the situation. One other one, if I want to share, is also like Grammarly. Grammarly is a super simple like app or tool that like checks, that gives you feedback on your writing. It's like, put a comma here, or oh, that's the wrong clause, or like, it's just really nice to have a tool that like gives you feedback when you're writing, and like you don't always have to like send it out to someone. Or if it's as simple as like an email, like I can send an email knowing that it's grammar free and I don't make a mistake anywhere. And when it comes to like a longer form writing, like it's always helpful because sometimes you miss something, and of course I always end up sending it out to other people and say, hey, like read this over, or like have my teammates read something over. But I think you don't always want to be dependent on other folks, and so like this just gives you an extra peace of mind when you're going through, and like it helps you like even like rephrase and like think about like how you want to say something, or even like something as little as like tone. Like it says this sounds friendly, this sounds resilient, you know, and like those are tones you're like, yeah, I am going for a resilient tone. And so those are my favorite apps. And depending on the situation, if I'm collaborating or making a presentation, or like I said at the start, the tool is just a means for you to like get whatever you need to get done. You know, whether it's staying on top of stuff or like all I was saying. And so if there are any of these tools that you use and you like them, or like you use them in a different way, like let me know. I'm always trying to learn how else to use these tools. If there are other tools I didn't mention that you would like to share with me, like please let me know. Again, I'm always down to learn more tools. And if there are any of tools that you would like more details, like I think I'd like to share more about Notion. And if you have any interest in learning more about Notion and how I use it, how I set it up for classes or work, or even like planning my life. I actually planned going to grad school, and now like my career, like using Notion, yeah, it's really good for like setting everything up and making sure that you have all the pieces, and then anyway, I can talk all about Notion all day. And so if there's anything else, let me know. Please reach out, follow me on Twitter, subscribe, and do all the things. Thank you for listening and spending this time with me. I'll see you all in the next video. See ya.